Oh, you've caught me juggling what healthy food I might eat for my lunch today. Okay. As you can see, I never forget what goes on the Eat Well plate because I've decorated my bedroom wall with all of these amazing foods. So today I think I'm going to have let's see, a leek, and I'm going to have it with some fish and rice. Now, that might be a balanced diet, but I reckon that would actually make a disgusting lunch, wouldn't it? So always when you're choosing your foods, make sure they are nutritious and delicious. Okay, take that advice from Mr. Two. Now, today we're going to continue with our... Now, before we start, actually, for the rest of this week, we are not only doing science, but drum roll, please. We are also doing some design and technology and also food technology. So we are mixing it all together. So imagine when the Marvel superheroes get together and make a super team. That is what these three subjects are going to be doing over the next couple of lessons. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So today we are going to continue thinking about what makes a healthy and balanced diet. Now, let's have a little recap. Now, last lesson, we drew up our Eat Well plate. Now, did your plate have foods from all of the different food groups that we mentioned? Okay, so we should have had foods from the fruit group, like I was juggling with earlier. We should have had foods from the dairy group. We should have had foods like pasta, rice, and grains from the grains group. We could have had some that steak, that juicy steak, that year two common exception word from the protein food group, the meat and fish, so chicken and other fish, and also in that colourful group, the vegetable group. Okay, so we also discussed why it's important to have a balanced diet, didn't we? Okay, and if we have a balanced diet, what happens to our bodies? Basically, they work better and we feel better and we're able to do more work. And when Mr. Toon always says this, doesn't he? When you don't put the fuel in your car, what happens? The car doesn't start. So that's why if we don't put the right food in our bodies, we're not ready to get up and go and work to the best of our ability. Now, we've been looking at this story of Bob. Now, your task today is you are going to design a healthy lunchbox for Bob. So, speaking in my best Bob voice, design a healthy lunchbox for me and my astronaut friends and show me how much of each food group is required for a balanced diet. Okay, so today, instead of his usual jam on toast and cup of tea that Bob usually has, we are going to design a much more nutritious and more interesting packed lunch for Bob on his trip to the moon. Now, to be successful today, you're going to design a lunchbox with the right amounts of foods of different types from each group, and you're going to do a bit of research. You're going to explore different lunchbox foods and think about nutrition. Now, you can find out about nutrition by looking. If it comes in a packet, you can have a look because now foods have nutrition information. So it tells you things like how many calories and how much fat and how much salt, a bit like a list of ingredients that each food has. You're going to do, as I've said, some research on what a balanced diet looks like. I'll tell you where to look for information on that in a second. And you're going to have designed a healthy lunchbox with food that is nutritious. So hopefully, if you do this for Bob, maybe you'll be able to come up with healthy lunchbox ideas for when we come back to school. Okay, so we'll be seeing less leftover takeaways in your lunchboxes. Only joking. And we'll be seeing more healthy food. Okay, so you'll be putting better fuel into the engine, like I said earlier. Now, here's where you can do some amazing research. There is this website, Food Fact for Life. Now, there was an activity where you could actually design a healthy lunchbox. Now, when I went to try this activity, it said you needed a flash player. Now, your laptops or technology might have a flash player on, but sadly mine doesn't, and I can't seem to get one. So if you can get one, that's a good game to go on. But there are also, on the link I've put there are also lots of other resources. There's a eat well challenge that you can do, so have a go at that, and that will help you to come up with ideas for your lunchbox when you draw it up and label it later. So on this sheet that is attached, we want you to create your healthy and balanced lunchbox. What type of things are you going to include? So we need to have a drink. Is it a good idea to pop a can of full fat Coke into your lunchbox? No. Okay. Is it even a good idea to put your favourite orange cordial in there? No. Okay, because unless it's some super sugar-free stuff, even cordial contains sugar. So that's why at school, as we're a healthy school and we've got that stamp, healthy school stamp, that's why when you bring in that orange coloured water, we say, no, 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 you should only be bringing. That might be a clue as to what would be the best drink to put in your lunchbox, and plenty of it as well, not just a tiny bottle of it, lots of it. Also, is it a good idea, just even though you might think it's healthy, to put lots and lots of fruit in there? Just a lunchbox full of fruit. Okay, we say that fruit's healthy, but if you eat too much, it's not balanced, is it? And also, it contains a lot of natural sugar. Is it a good idea just to put lots of vegetables in there? No, because basically that wouldn't be that nice, would it? Okay, might be some nutritious, but you need to get food from the different groups. So think about maybe some sandwiches or a wrap. Think about something from the dairy group, and you can even have a little sweet treat in there, okay? Because that can also be useful because it can help to give us energy. Okay, so if we're flagging, if we're feeling tired after working so hard in the morning, if we have a little pick me up of some sweets. So some athletes, they eat things like Haribos because it gives them that little bit of a sugar boost. Okay, so you could have something like that in, but obviously don't just fill your packed lunchbox with Haribos because that will not be a healthy lunch. Okay, now we'll look forward to seeing these ideas, and I'll be able to check up on this, won't we? Because when we come back to school, I can come into the dinner hall and have a peek over your shoulder and see what's actually in your lunchbox. So no trying to get lots of snacks in there. Okay, we look forward to seeing your amazing lunchbox, and maybe we can pass your ideas onto the school kitchen. If we go on a school trip, they could maybe send some of your packed lunch ideas out with us. Okay.